Hello, my name is Maria Reyes, and today I will be giving a speech on the environmental effects of the fast fashion industry. As my audience member, I have my friend Victoria here, and she will be watching me. How many times have you purchased a garment from a fast fashion site, whether it be Shein, whether it be Forever 21? You wear it a couple times, and it either loses its appeal or it ends up falling apart, and you get rid of it. While this may seem like an insignificant choice, the reality is that disposable fashion is wreaking havoc on our planet. As young people, we are often the ones that are targeted by these companies because we do not have the economic resources that other demographics do, and we are constantly being fed content from them. But through my research about the environmental consequences from the fast fashion industry, I want to shed a light on the overlooked aspects of the industry and show how our clothing choices have much broader ecological impact. So today I will explain how the fast fashion industry is creating long-term damages to the planet through textile waste, pollution, and resource depletion. So the very first and most prominent way in which the industry is perpetuating the damage to our planet is through textile waste. Each year, the fast fashion industry produces up to 100 billion garments, 87% of which end up in landfills. In a recent panel, environmentalist Melissa Lucerni discussed that even though we are oftentimes encouraged to donate clothes to the Salvation Army or Goodwill, a lot of the clothes ends up being shipped overseas to nations in need of aid because the supply and demand that we have in the United States is actually more than what we can sell. But by the time that these garments arrive in these countries, they're already too beat up to be used and end up in landfills anyway. And this brings us to the second and most concerning way in which they affect the planet, and it's through pollution. Because a lot of these garments are made out of cheaper materials, they often carry dyes, pesticides, or solvents that end up in the water supply and end up polluting that person's or that nation's water supply. According to Gerardo Bandera, a journalist for fairplanet.com, wastewater from synthetic fabrics requires up to 70 million barrels of oil to create, and the wastewater from those products ends up in the water supply and pollutes either the water supply or the soil of the area. Another way in which the industry is contributing to pollution is through their carbon footprints, being the third leading industry in the world. Earthday.com also reports that the apparel industry is responsible for 4% of all the carbon and greenhouse gases that is being released into the environment, which is equal to what Germany, France, and the UK produce altogether. And I have a visual aid reported by the EU showing that the average European citizen in the year 2020 was producing a carbon footprint of 270 kgs, which is rather large. And finally, the way in which the industry is perpetuating the depletion of the planet is through resource depletion. Fast fashion relies very heavily on the production of cotton, and it is reported that one single cotton shirt can cost up to 700 gallons of water, which is already tapping into a very, very limited resource that is fresh water. And finally, the last way is through deforestation. Wood is often used, wood pulp is used to make these fabrics, and deforestation ultimately affects the biodiversity of the area and can lead to species extinction. So now that we have heard all these ways in which the fast fashion industry is affecting the planet, hopefully you as a consumer can make smarter, more conscious choices, and we can see a better planet and a better future. Thank you.